For starters, I'm going to have to merit this game. Why? The gameplay for this game is easily 10 out of 10. Yes, this game truly is that good. A little weak in the storytelling though, but merit nonetheless.
It's led to nothing. I found nothing.
Character speaks in a narrative voice cliche. I have to say, this director definitely overstated his welcome. I get he's the big mystery all around the game, but wow, most of it was not needed.
All transfixed. But it's all a lie. Something to distract us.
Alti has a portrait of his back working. If the devs tried elevating his demeanor by doing this, they definitely failed to do so.
Hey, excuse me.
There you are. You are here about the job. Janitor's assistant. You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way. Got it.
Very good. I'm Ahti, the janitor, by the way. You'll work for me. You can say I sent you. If they don't hire you, then you are no helvet. There be work for the axe. Take them behind the sauna, jumalauta.
I've done enough night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but you're not no janitor's assistant. You are the new director of this building and its workers. I have yet to understand why Alti referred to Jesse as the janitor's assistant. This game is
Shit. Shit. You want me to pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
The first thing Jessie does when she walks into an unknown murder scene is pick up the murder weapon. Yeah, that's definitely the smart thing to do. This is by far the most confusing game I've ever played. I'm not the only one that said this.
Can cause or be results of AWE's altered world events, intrusions upon the perceived reality. Now, the service weapon is, of course, a prime example of an OOP of...
Oh, hello, super irrelevant doctor who only shows up in projected screens. Honestly, if you're someone who's never done drugs like me, this game will make you think you're high right now.
You can't let this happen. 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 You can't let this happen.
There's that dead former director who overstays his welcome, repeating the same shit again.
Director Faden. Call me Jessie.
Okay, Jessie. I'm Emily. Look, somehow this hostile force, this
Hiss?
that works. Somehow the Hiss managed to infiltrate the building without any warning.
And just like that, my name for it is official.
So she just comes up with the name Hiss? No relevant characteristics towards the entity? Nice story, Remedy. Also, why did the devs think it was a good idea to have Jessie monologue every time someone speaks to her? It's awfully annoying.
Everywhere and to everyone not protected by an HRA. And, extraordinarily, you. You are the director, and that makes you special by definition. Trench is no longer the director, obviously. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. This whole situation is just a lot.
Nah, the devs just didn't know how to have a good dialogue, so they had to force it. Their gameplay is on point, but man, do they need improvements with their story.
I found his body. And the gun.
Do I tell her it looked like a suicide?
Jessie asks herself if she should inform Emily that it looks like a suicide. Like, no, of course not. You need to leave important detail out.
Appearing to me? Saying things? It's hard to make out, but he told me to cleanse the control point.
At this point, anything that may seem unreal should be looked into when there are bodies literally levitating as if they're being possessed.
And you entered the building when it was already in the lockdown before you became the new director? How?
I'm not ready to tell her about you yet.
Translation. We will make the players wait to know the answer because the story doesn't demand it right now.
Believable. I can't even... Look, Jesse, I have a million questions, and you probably have a million more.
That's pretty much everyone that's playing this game.
They're Dylan? Not yet.
But there's something I need to ask you to do first. If you can cleanse a control point, then you can maybe cure those infected or possessed by the hiss. Because if that's possible, our options are very different.
Emily Pope. I don't know her, but I like her already. She's the opposite of the faceless agency I've blamed for what happened to me for so long.
Leaving out details again.
But I can't trust her yet. Or rather, the bureau she's a part of.
Yes. I can try.
I have to ask, how come no one wondered why Jesse takes so long to answer their questions?
I can't cleanse them.
I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it.
Listen, the Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already.
You know, this is the reason most of the players were astronomically confused playing this game. It withholds too much information that will come later, but in a very vague factor.
You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us, or a few of us. And Director Trench would know.
Trench, the ghost, or whatever he is, he mentioned something called the Hotline. Said I should find it.
Oh, the Hotline, a part of the game that has no relevance to the story. An obnoxious puzzle to make the game longer. Remedy, if you tried to implement that annoying 1970s ringtone into our brains, you succeeded, assholes.
NSC?
Oh, sorry. Bureau jargon. It's what we call the power plant. You know, the big rumbling metal thing. Salvador, head of security, asked me to protect it in case of an attack. See, what's inside is dangerous. Dr. Darling seemed to know it would be a target.
Darling? He's here?
No, he came down a few days ago, before everything went to hell. He was out of it. Smelled like a bar mat. He was ranting about vulnerabilities and how he only had one large-scale HRA, but that he needed it somewhere else. Still, at least he gave us these personal HRAs before he left. Hey, did I mention that he was tearing his clothes off? Crazy dude.
Darling knew the hiss was coming.
Listen, I love playing 20 questions as much as the next guy, but we have got to get the water and electrical systems repaired before this baby blows. I'll have my guys unlock the doors out of here for you.
I'll take care of it. You stay and keep the hiss away from the plant if you can.
He just said his crew keeps getting shot before doing anything.
Look, as you can probably tell, it's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
And you're going to trust they can handle anything that's coming from the hiss?
Yeah.
Listen, Emily.
Screw it. Just tell her.
I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through. That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside.
Translation: we need the players to get confused and try to know more so they can keep playing. Like, why not just spell it out? That way we'll know more and might just become more intrigued to the story. Has anyone seen the amount of questions asked on Google?
Kind of being.
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn the projector off. The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan.
It was never clearly mentioned how a kid ran away from professionals.
Brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object of power.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved. A large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Let's hope you two get along. She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
As in a guiding star. Did Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful.
Well, you guys aren't really all that if a kid managed to run away from you. I have to ask, what sorcery did the devs in Remedy do for the current console? The fact that this game is able to run on basic current consoles is unbelievable. Remedy definitely deserves a merit for that. The physics in this game is much better than most games I've seen for this generation. If not, it's the best. I'm very interested in seeing what Remedy will do for next gen titles. Maybe a sequel to this game? Shit, I hope.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her? Really?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling insists.
Seriously, this monologuing crap is really annoying.
We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
As far as I'm concerned, the hiss already took out most of your men while they have various type of enemies you can't handle. What is stopping them from breaching that door exactly? This is the way you reach a checkpoint. It bites the players in the ass if they die. Yeah, it's supposed to bite someone in the ass if they die. But this is brutal. Although that's not the sin. The real sin is that when you spawn, it's possible you'll have to run towards the destination again. It could take minutes every time you die. And during the middle and end of this game, it was brutal. Very, very brutal.
Hey, thanks for bringing down that... whatever the fuck that was. But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
Hold that thought. How did you pass all the hiss enemies that I was required to kill to gain access to get here? You yourself, you said you were having a hard time.
It's a bit of a shit show down here. We've been holding our ground, but whatever's gotten into our buddies has them wrecking the coolant pumps and the power converters. The NSC keeps overheating, and my crews keep getting shot before they have a chance to make any repairs.
Here with death.
The hiss are everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction. Another day at the FBC. But Darling's lab is just past Blackrock processing. I got good news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a hiss monster has decided to move in, so that's great.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. The ones that survived, anyway. We are just treading water here, and the hiss keep coming. Salvador would know what to do, but apparently he took a security team into the containment sector just before the lockdown happened, and well, no one's seen him since. But hey, at least we got you, our fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me. They don't know me.
Main character says people shouldn't rely on them when they're the only person that can help and will help. Cliche. The amount of upgrades in this game is astounding. I mean, look at all the upgrades. It's amazing.
I found plenty. Here.
We will start HRA production immediately. I promised I'd tell you about Dylan once you helped us.
This is it. She knows. 17 years I've waited.
I know, right? 17 years to get to the point is an awfully long time.
Your brother is here. He was once known as Prime Candidate 6, codenamed P6. We brought him here after the ordinary event. He was groomed to be the future director. He had talents far beyond any other candidate in the program.
Of course he did. We found you together. We share a bond. Are you with him now?
So you kidnapped him.
We took him in. Your parents vanished along with every other adult in Ordinary. Eventually, his power changed him. There were casualties. He wasn't fit to be the director.
Did you know about this? Is this why you didn't bring me here sooner? Were you keeping me away?
Where is Dylan?
He's kept in the containment sector, in the Panopticon.
I thought we were the same. What if we are?
I'm going. Now.
I expected as much. I need to go check on something. Something I cannot let the hiss find. It shouldn't take long, but you must watch the Bureau while I'm gone. And remember, Dylan is dangerous. Do not let him out, Director Faden.
How do I make her stop calling me that?
You know, how many games I've played or stories I've heard that is about a hero that is related to a villain? It's not like I haven't heard of that before.
Please state your name for the record. Paul Warren, astronaut, first class, and you are aware that...
Your brains were fried when I took over the object.
So Jessie upgrades to a new power. Once she achieved this power, the energy literally killed everyone around Jessie. Now Jessie, this is your reaction for murdering all these men? Yes, it was an accident, but she didn't even care she killed all these people. I can definitely see how she's related to her dangerous brother. You know, I was playing this game around midnight with the lights off. That was a pleasant experience. Thank you for blinding me temporarily, Remedy.
Oh, hello. Is there something I can help you with?
I'm Jessie, the new director. I need to get inside.
New director? Right, well, okay. Hello, I'm Frederick Langston, the Panopticon supervisor. It's not the best time for a tour. We have hiss everywhere, numerous cell breaches, and system failures across the board, but you're the director, so here we go. Founded by Zachariah...
The actor who played as this character sounds enthusiastic. Either that, or this character is supposed to be born dead-like character. Either way, sinful. So Remedy, I see you love constructing beautiful patterns on the cost of people's visions.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Is anyone there?
What are you doing in there?
Oh, thank God! Look, someone has to watch this object at all times, or it deviates. My shift replacement never showed up. Can you help me?
Damn. I can't, I'm sorry. There's an emergency. I'll come back, I promise.
Okay, okay, just don't forget. I can't stare at this thing much longer.
And I forgot. I finished the game and completely forgot about this side mission. It's because of the editing that I remembered. This isn't a sin, I just thought this was funny. Game, how predictable can you be? I even said before getting here, it feels too soon to meet her brother. He's going to escape long before Jesse gets to where he was locked up.
You there, Jesse?
Emily? He's gone. Dylan isn't here.
Emily has no knowledge of Jesse's location. So you mean to tell me Emily just randomly asked for Jesse as soon as Jesse got to the holding cell?
Hey, girl. For a fin. Holidays holy.
Auntie?
Did you miss me? Did you have piss in your sock?
Yes.
No. Bark don't make a wound. You did good. Take my cassette player. You can borrow it.
Auntie, this took place in 2019, almost 2020. Not the 1980s. You need to start upgrading, my friend. Now, I did my research before starting this video. Many of you were completely confused on what Auntie is. He is a supernatural entity that guides your path. For example, the cassette player. You can't go through that bitch-ass maze without it. We interrupt this program to introduce you to the best part of the game, brought to you by Inception. Enjoy. I'm only speaking for myself, but fuck this part. Fuck this part. I probably died at least 70 times. Yup. The first time I had a game crash into my Xbox One X. It's not a sin. I understand how demanding this game is with all its physics.
Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
Yeah, that's pretty much the ending. Jesse is not the director of the oldest house. Dylan, her brother, is in a coma, which he may never wake up. I'm left with 1,000 questions, and I didn't even have a final boss fight.
Thing of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
Just in case you forgot what game you just finished.